Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Abdulwahid Bomba. In today's video, we will learn how to draw a 4x1 multiplexer and a 2x4 decoder using Logisim. Now, let's start with the 4x1 multiplexer. Now in order to draw the 4x1 multiplexer, we need two inputs. We need four inputs rather. A 4x1 multiplexer takes four inputs. Then then the multiplexer will choose which of the inputs it should output. At the end of this video, you will understand what I'm trying to talk about. So first, let's get our input here. One, another input, since it will be four inputs, another input. You will need an AND gate also. First gate, another gate, another gate, and let's see this one backwards. Another AND gate. We need four AND gates in the design of this multiplexer. Here will be the last AND gate. Now by default, these gates, we need one OR gate here. Let me know. Now two inverters, one here, another one here, and two inputs which will act as the selector. Now realize that these logic gates by default have an input of 5, so we have to make them 3. So we have to set all the inputs, take it to 3, so that they will receive only 3 inputs. So we set here 2 to be 3. Now this one is facing east. Let's make it face north. This one also should face north. Yes, so that we can connect it directly to the to the inverter. Yes, our OR gate has 5 inputs. We make it 4, since it will be receiving 4 inputs. Now let's draw. Connecting our first line. Let's make these ones to face north, so that they will align in this drawing. connect the SBF1 input. We had a problem. So connect this one to this inverter. Now connect this one here. Also connect this part. Also connect this part. And when we are done connecting, we will label the parts so that you know what you are up to. Add an output to the end. Now let's label the parts so that we know what we are working with. Let's label the first input I0. Let's label the second input I1. I1. Let's label the third input I2, I2. Let's label the fourth input I3, I3. Now these are the two selectors. Let's label this one selector 1, S1, S1. Let's label this selector S2, S2. Yes. Now the output here, let's label it Y. Y. Now, guys, this is how a 4x1 multiplexer works. First of all, this truth table says that when the input of the selectors is 0, 0, it will output the value of this one, of the first input, then block the values of the remaining three. That's why this is turned on. Now let's off it. See that here is off. Let's turn on these ones and see. It is still off, which shows that truly truth table with 0, 0 output the first line. Now if the input value is 0, 1, it will output the input value of I1. That is the second one, this one. So when we turn it on, now you see that the output 1 has now. Let's turn it off and turn the other ones on. Nothing is happening. Okay. Now when the input value here, the S1, S2 is 1, 0, it will output the first input, the third input value, which is I2 here. Now I2 is turned on. Now you see the output value is blinking. It has turned green. Let's off it. Let's on this one. Nothing happens. Let's on this one. Nothing happens. Let's on this one. Nothing happens, because this is off. Now each truth table also says in order for the fourth input to be outputted, S has to be 1 and the remaining S22 has to be 1. Therefore, since this one is off, the output is off. Let's turn it on. Now the output here is on. You get it? Yeah. So if it is 0, 0, this one outputs. If it is 0, 1, the output of the second. If it is 1, 0, the output of the third. If it is 1, 1, the output of the fourth. That's how a 4x1 multiplexer works, based on the selector's value. Based on the selector's value S1, S2. Now we are done with this part. We will be moving on to a 2x4 decoder. Now a 2x4 decoder, it works with the same logic. It works with the same logic of the selectors. If it is 0, 0, the decoder will output the first line. If it is 0, 1, second. If it is 1, 0, third. If it is 1, 1, fourth. And the decoder works as the opposite of a multiplexer. At the end of this video, you understand what I'm talking about. So first, in order to draw the 2x4 decoder, we first need our input values here. 1, another 1, 2 should come here. We will need an enabler, another input. Okay, we will need 4 AND gates. One gate can be here, One gate can also be here. One gate can also one gate can also be here. Now guys, these input values are facing east. You have to make them face downwards because they'll be going downwards. So let it face south. Face south. This one too should also face south. We will need two inverters. One will be with the input one, and another one will be here. It also has to face southwards. Southwards. Face southwards. Now let's change the values, the inputs, the number of inputs of these AND gates. The number of inputs, this AND gate will receive 3 inputs. So we change the number of inputs for all the 3. Yes. Now let's do the connection. First, let's give them output values. Output here, another output value here, another output value here, another output value here. Yes. Now let's do the connections, the wiring. Wire from the enabler let's connect the third AND gate. Now guys, let's label the output. Y0 for the first one, Y1 for the second one, Y1, third one, Y2, the fourth one, Y3, Y3. And let's label the inputs. 1, E, the enabler. We have this one, which will be, let's name it as selector or input variable B. B. Let's label this one A. Now let's on the enabler. Now this is our first output, second output, third output, fourth output. Now guys, remember that the multiplexer, where it was 0 0, the selected value was 0 0. It outputted the input of the first value. Same thing here. If it is 0 0, it will output the first one. If it is 0 1, it will output the second one. That's why the Y1 has turned into green. If it is 1 0, it will output the third one. And if it is 1 1, the decoder will output the fourth one. So this is how a decoder works. Based on the input, a 2x4 decoder receiving 2 inputs, and based on the 2 inputs, telling which of the 4 outputs it should display. So keep it in mind: 0 0 for first, 0 1 for second, 1 0 for third, and 1 1 for fourth. So 1 1 Y3 has been output. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.